TalkBox.
So what are you doing in London? You don't live in London.
Rich,
You don't have to tell us where.
well, I can't tell you where, because I am technically a digital nomad,
Oh,
a digital
really?
vagabond.
Oh, so you cut the cable with everything.
Yeah, although I don't know if cutting the cable really, describes, because like I'm still connected to the Wi-Fi, in every sense. Like
Okay.
all our information's in a cloud somewhere, right?
Yeah.
And Elon Musk now has it, so...
Well, because I was thinking,
Yeah.
9/11, when that happened, there was no cloud.
This is a topical show, right?
This is a 9/11 retrospective.
It must be difficult to be truly off the grid nowadays, right?
Yeah.
Like if you had done something
Yeah.
and you were on the run,
Right.
like how long can you go?
You've got to go to the desert and get like a trailer. Something like that.
Yeah, but they can see that from all the satellite cameras.
Yeah.
Have you ever watched that show where they go on the
Yes. It's so bullshit, though, because they know exactly where you are.
run? Yeah.
They can take you in anytime.
Right.
Yeah.
But
That's
like,
why I didn't watch more than one.
yeah. Well, I watched the whole thing and sort of bought into the bullshit. Yeah, I'm a sucker. But you just think, how are you meant to, be a criminal in this day and age?
I know.
It's not fair.
It's really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet criminals will sit around going, do you remember the good old days when you used to be able to, kill someone and get away with it?
But this is the thing about criminals, though. They're always one step ahead.
Yes.
When somebody's robbing a horse, they're robbing a stagecoach.
Right.
You know?
Yes, I
They
got
just
you.
get one.
I love that old saying.
Yeah.
But like, what do they do? I don't know if they're one step ahead. I think they're sort of one step adjacent, because like at some point they went, well, we can't just go and rob a bank anymore. So now it has to be online stuff.
Well, that was the whole thing about. Did you see Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid?
Was that?
Because
was that just out?
It was out a couple months ago.
Okay.
They did a reboot.
Okay.
But no, they were robbing trains in the West.
Yeah.
And it was just, they were doing it so much that they hired a detective and they're really cracking down on it.
Mm-hmm.
So naturally they would have been arrested. So that's when they went to South America.
Right. And then what did they do there? They did online scamming.
They died.
Yeah.
They supposedly died.
Yeah.
But they robbed, banks and stuff like that.
But back then that was easy because it was just it was just like a teller.
Wait, you mean to tell me you haven't seen Butch Cassidy?
No, of course I've seen it.
Okay,
yeah.
all right.
But banks were like like when you watch older films,
teller
in these beautiful buildings, and they're just a teller, and some of them don't even have like a thing in front, and you're like the level of trust.
Yeah.
And that was pre-computers, so all the money was...
What, to just reach in?
Yeah. Reach out and touch you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That was
You always have a lot of criminal observations, don't you?
I mean, when you grew up in a long line of criminals like I did, you've got to, you write what you know.
But did you read a lot of crime books and mystery novels and stuff?
No.
Because I loved all the grisly crimes and stuff.
Well,
and there was this book club. You could order the books.
Yeah.
And my mom would go, here's your top 10 beheadings. And she would just hand it over gladly because it was a book.
Well, it's funny, isn't it? Like that they were okay with you reading stuff like that.
Yeah.
We talk about now that, what kids can see on the internet. But actually, I mean, I was listening to music that was all about sex at the age of 9.
Right.
Because it was pop music. But really, the lyrics were all about...
Robbie Williams.
It was pre-Williams. But it's all like... I actually listened to a George Michael album, Faith, which was something I listened to... Yeah. I was like, guys, Rich is having a moment.
Help! Kenny!
He's going, help! And I'm going, Faith!
Yeah!
My
spleen's coming out.
There's this song called I Want Your Sex. It was really quite explicit. And I'm listening to it recently.
Mom's dancing.
Yeah, and I'm like, I was listening to that when I was like 9 or 10 years old.
Yeah.
Know? So things would...
That's true with everything, though.
Every
like
generation.
in the jungle, the mighty jungle,
Mm-hmm.
the lion has sex tonight.
I don't know if they're definitely the lyrics,
like
but I mean, you can interpret it that way.